Ace Steel is reportedly fired by All Elite Wrestling in the wake of CM Punk's AEW termination. We got the ratings for this week's edition of AEW Dynamite on TBS. The Dudley Boyz have reportedly signed new WWE Legends contracts. Details on that plus LA Knight. Rumors and reports continue to circulate about possibly him signing a new WWE contract. The very latest on that, and if he's put pen to paper on a new WWE deal. We got the ratings for this Tuesday's episode of NXT on USA Network. An update on Gable and Gunther getting a standing ovation after their Intercontinental Championship main event on Raw this week. Jade Cargill opens up on her AEW future, plus an update on an International Championship match announced for this week's edition of AEW Collision. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about Ace Steel being fired once again by All Elite Wrestling. Yes, the very latest when it comes to the world of CM Punk and people close to him involving AEW. In the aftermath of the backstage altercation between CM Punk and Jack Perry, that All In, it continues because it claims another victim from the company's behind-the-scenes operation. According to PW Insider, AEW producer and coach Ace Steel has once again been released in the wake of CM Punk's dismissal last weekend, receiving notice earlier yesterday. This marks the second time Steel has been let go from AEW following an incident backstage and involving CM Punk. Of course, Steel was initially fired after the infamous brawl that erupted following 2022's All Out pay-per-view. Punk's comments during the post-show media scrum led to some sort of brouhaha with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. In the room with Punk, when it transpired, Steel got involved, allegedly biting Kenny Omega in the midst of the skirmish. As one of the conditions of CM Punk's return to AEW programming earlier this year, Steel was rehired, which included the compromise of Steel not physically being present backstage during shows, particularly AEW Collision, but being allowed to produce through Zoom calls. Now, Steel was not in London at this year's All In for the latest confrontation. Reports indicate that there had been talks as of late about giving Steel something else to do, with AEW looking into allowing him to train talent somewhere in Florida. But in light of his exit, that is no longer the case. Steel had previously trained CM Punk and also worked as a trainer and producer for WWE prior to joining AEW. So what are your thoughts on the latest developments when it comes to CM Punk and now Ace Steel being gone from AEW? We don't know the finer details about this. We don't know if Ace Steel requested his release. We don't know if AEW just released him out of the blue. What are your thoughts on this? What do you think about the future of Ace Steel? And do you have any new thoughts and opinions about the future of CM Punk in pro wrestling? Let me know your thoughts, as always, in the comment section below. Now, sticking with AEW, we have the ratings for this week's edition of AEW Dynamite on TBS, and the fallout from All Out brought a minor bump in viewership for All Elite Wrestling on Wednesday nights. WrestleNomics is reporting that this week's Dynamite got a 2% rise in overall viewership, with 887,000 average viewers for the post-Labor Day weekend show. The 18 to 49 demographic saw a 5% bump, as 409,000 viewers in the coveted key demographic tuned in to see the beginning of the tournament to determine AEW World Champion MJF's title challenger on the Dynamite Grand Slam special on September 20. The highest rated segment of the show was Orange Cassidy's opening address to the crowd, where he promised to never relent despite his numerous injuries from his historic AEW International Championship reign, as well as the AEW International title match between new champion Jon Moxley and AR Fox. The lowest rated segment was the main event match between Darby Allin and Nick Wayne, with both the key demographic and the overall audience dropping off by double-digit percentages at the start of the match. However, many viewers tuned back in for the conclusion of the match during the brief overrun before Young Sheldon. Darby was ultimately successful in his match against his close friend Wayne and will face off against Roderick Strong in the semi-finals of the tournament on Saturday night's edition of AEW Collision. Strong defeated Trent Beretta in another first-round match earlier on in the show, which also saw a ratings drop-off after MJF and Samoa Joe's confrontation that preceded the bout. The Ring of Honor World Television Champion's verbal and physical altercation with the AEW World Champion was one of the higher-rated segments of the program. What are your thoughts on the ratings? What are your thoughts on the viewership numbers? Do you think, again, this is where AEW kind of is at this point, the sort of 800 to 900,000 range? And what is it going to take to get back to that 1 million mark or over 1 million viewers for AEW Dynamite? Or is it just not going to happen moving forward for AEW? Let me know your thoughts about that. Now, this is quite an interesting story regarding the Dudley Boyz, considering they're actually going to be wrestling for Impact Wrestling very, very soon. Fans attending the taping of Impact Wrestling's 1000th episode this weekend will witness the special reunion of Bully Ray and Devon, collectively known as Team 3D in Impact and the Dudley Boyz in WWE. Before they lace up their boots again, a new report shared an interesting tidbit about the team's relationship with another company. Amidst a write-up penned by Sports Illustrated's Justin Barrasso, it is noted that Bully Ray and Devon recently inked Legends contracts with WWE. The specific terms of those agreements are unknown, but with both men set to reunite at Impact 1000 and Bully still appearing as an active performer in the company, it seems there is at least a little freedom for them to seek work in promotions outside of WWE. Now, the Dudley Boyz' last WWE match took place on the SummerSlam 2016 kickoff show as they faced the team of Sami Zayn and Neville. The duo were inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2018. In the years following their induction, Devon took a major step back from wrestling as he dealt with some health issues, which included a back surgery and a stroke that he suffered in 2020. Luckily, Devon has since bounced back and is now preparing for his in-ring return as he and Bully take on the pair of mystery opponents at Impact 1000. So what do you think this means for the future of the Dudley Boyz? What do you think it means for the future of Bully Ray in Impact Wrestling, the fact that the two have signed Legends deals with WWE? Or do you think they're a bit different and a bit unique when it comes to what they can and can't do with other promotions? Let me know your thoughts about that too in the comment section below. Now, we spoke about this yesterday, a bit of an update when it comes to LA Knight and his current contract situation with WWE. According to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, WWE wants to keep LA Knight around for the long haul. Fightful Select are reporting that they have learned around the time of SummerSlam that WWE made recent overtures towards LA Knight to re-sign with the company in an attempt to extend his WWE contract for several years. However, at that time it had been told that LA Knight's deal was actually nowhere near close to expiring with WWE, and it would be well ahead of possible expiration, and his actual proper expiration would have been late 2024 or early 2025. Now, in most cases lately, WWE has kind of waited until deals are much closer to offer a new contract. In the sort of example of someone like a Drew McIntyre's contract is set to expire later this year, beginning of next year. LA Knight still has plenty of time to go. PW Insider reported yesterday that they were close to finalizing a deal with LA Knight. Now, Fightful Select were told that some of the initial offers were countered, but they have not confirmed that he's actually put pen to paper at all. So it's currently unknown if LA Knight has officially signed a brand new contract with WWE. PW Insider did report that the rumors were he was close or he maybe had signed. The rumors were it was a 4 to 5 year contract, but Fightful Select aren't going that far, just as kind of confirming what PW Insider is saying, that LA Knight is close maybe to signing a new contract, but they haven't confirmed that he's indeed put pen to paper. Now, there were reports that the company was waiting for the deal to go through before going forward and moving forward with his push, but there was over 1 year left on his current deal, which some would suggest that actually probably isn't the case. If we get any more information about LA Knight, his contract situation, etc., we'll let you know in a future video. And let's talk about the ratings for this week's edition of NXT. Of course, had a big cliffhanger and also set up some big matches next week as well. After gaining some strong momentum earlier in August, including a record-setting night on August 8, NXT's ratings seem to have come back down to earth over the last few weeks, including 614,000 viewers and a 0.16 rating in the coveted 18 to 49 demographic last week. So it comes as welcome news for WWE that viewership once again is on an uptick. WrestleNomics reports that this past Tuesday's episode of NXT drew 673,000 total viewers and a 0.18 rating in the 18 to 49, which is up 10% and 8% respectively from last week. Further information reveals that the episode, while down in several demos, was up 6% with women aged 18 to 49 and up a whopping 34% in women aged 35 to 49, indicating the female audience was key in NXT's slight rebound. NXT featured several key matches on Tuesday, such as Ilya Dragunov defeating Oro Mensah, an appearance from Dominic Mysterio as the special guest referee for a match between Dragon Lee and Mustafa Ali, and the confrontation and continuation of the Global Heritage Tournament. The most notable occurrence, however, was a surprise appearance from Becky Lynch, continuing her ongoing issues with NXT Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton. As Lynch's appearance was unannounced, it's unclear how much effect she had on the overall number, but Lynch will likely be a huge factor on the number of viewers NXT draws next week. However, as she is scheduled to challenge for the NXT Women's Championship against Stratton, looking to win the only Women's Championship she hasn't won during her WWE career. The show will also feature Ilya Dragunov versus Wesley to determine the new number one contender for the NXT Championship, and Tyler Bate versus Axiom, and Akira Tozawa versus Nathan Fraser in Block A and B matches of the Global Heritage Invitational Tournament. So what are your thoughts on the ratings this week, and what's going to happen next week when it comes to Becky Lynch being involved and the big cliffhanger involving Von Wagner at the end of this week as well? Certainly interesting. Let me know your predictions for the numbers that you think NXT will do next week. Now, this week's edition of Raw was main evented by that incredible Intercontinental Championship match between Gable and Gunther. Gunther now becoming the officially longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in WWE history. And the recent series of matches between Gunther and Chad Gable over the Intercontinental Championship on Raw has breathed new life into the championship and product, with the two immensely talented athletes trading victories on Monday nights. Their most recent battle on the September 4th edition of Raw in Charlotte, North Carolina, received plenty of praise across the industry from fans, current stars, and legends alike. And the latest revelation from Cody Rhodes on the Dale Jr. download confirmed just how highly the WWE locker room thought of the bout, which saw Gunther emerge with the victory and cement himself as the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. Cody Rhodes said, quote, "If you get a standing ovation in Gorilla, you've made it," Rhodes said. "Last night, Chad Gable and Gunther had this amazing main event, and they came back, and there's nothing we can do but clap or that piece of business. Chad did amazing last night, and I do hope that Chad finds the Intercontinental Championship. His daughter wanted to see that and have that moment. I felt bad because they sent me out after to raise his hand, and I've got to do the dark match. He's an amazing athlete." As alluded to by the American Nightmare, he was sent out post-match to put over Gable in front of the live crowd, who applauded the efforts of the former Olympian. With one victory over the ring general via countout and surviving a 5-minute challenge last month, Gable is in a box seat to earn another shot at the gold maybe sometime down the line, with many fans hopeful of seeing the pair square off again at the Fastlane Premium Live event on October 7. While he found plenty of success as a tag team wrestler since signing with WWE a decade ago, Gable has yet to capture a singles title within the company, and with the audience firmly in his corner, this could be the opportunity and could be the right time to capitalize on his growing popularity. So when do you think Gunther will drop the championship, and do you think Gable is the person to take the title off him? Let me know your thoughts about that. We've got a bit of an update on Jade Cargill and her future with All Elite Wrestling. AEW star Jade Cargill has revealed her future with the company, as well as a few details on her relationship with AEW President, CEO, and Head of Creative Tony Khan. Jade Cargill has been absent from AEW television since suffering her first loss in AEW, as well as losing her TBS Championship to Chris Statlander at Double or Nothing earlier this year. However, don't think she has any plans to leave AEW anytime soon, with Jade telling the Women's Wrestling Talk podcast why she can't see herself anywhere else. She said when asked if she was still in contact with Tony Khan, quote, "I am, always. He's a phenomenal boss. I can hit him up now. He'll probably hit me up in 3 minutes. And this is a man who has 4 companies, like a professional soccer team, Jacksonville Jaguars. He's busy. He literally comes to every show. He is so passionate. He loves our company. There is no place I would want to be. He doesn't look at me as a number. He looks at me like a human being, knows my journey. He understands my purpose in the wrestling community and what I want to achieve. And I don't think you can beat that. You can't beat this in a very interesting sport." Whether fans are hotly anticipating her return so they can cheer her or boo her, it doesn't seem to matter to Jade much either way. She said, quote, "Hate me or love me, I'm still making money. I can care less. I love our fans. My fan base is the best. The Jade Cargill fan base is the best. That's undeniable. You know, I started out with a great. I'm surrounded by nothing but greats, and the greats in wrestling community want me to succeed. There's nothing that's going to stop me from becoming nothing but a household name and a great. So it feels phenomenal that our fans want me back. I mean, why wouldn't they? Who else is Jade Cargill? Nobody." So again, Big stuff from Jade Cargill. The question is, when is she going to be back? We'll have to find out sooner rather than later. Finally, an AEW International Championship match has been announced for this weekend's edition, or tomorrow's edition, of AEW Collision on TNT. It seems that a new era has dawned for AEW Collision as the new international champion Jon Moxley is set to defend the title in an open challenge this Saturday. Although the opponent who answered it will not remain a mystery, as AEW announced it on Twitter. Throwing up a graphic for the match, AEW announced on social media that Jon Moxley would be facing Action Andretti in an international championship match this Saturday night in Cleveland. Moxley captured the gold after defeating Orange Cassidy at AEW All Out on pay-per-view last Sunday. Elsewhere, set for AEW Collision this Saturday night, fans are set to hear from Bryan Danielson after he had his brutal strap match with Ricky Starks at All Out. Also announced Bullet Club Gold in action with a graphic featuring Jay White, Juice Robinson, as well as both Austin and Colton Gunn. There will also be the semi-finals of the AEW World Championship #1 Contender Tournament, which are Darby Allin versus Roderick Strong, and Samoa Joe or Jeff Hardy versus Penta El Zero Miedo or Jay Lethal. So there you go, guys. It's the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.